Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as a few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shwar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. A quick lesson, just about nation building in the kingdom of heaven, because, this is a topic that is controversial because, multiple women is a part of it in the kingdom of heaven. We know, when you come into the law, statutes, and commandments, it's lawful to have multiple wives. It's not expedient for the times wherein, brothers do what they do, whatever your situation is your situation. But, it's not expedient to have multiple women in this time because we're in captivity, and this is Esau society. But nonetheless, it is lawful. And, this is how things are going to be in the kingdom. Nation building is, it's more than just, multiple women is a lot more than just having multiple women, just to, have sex. It's about forwarding a legacy. It's about business. It's about, building your nation, because there's power in numbers, man. And that's why, the Lord made us the biggest nation. Scriptures say that Israel is like the sand of the sea, because we are the biggest nation in total population. We got the biggest nation on the planet, and that's how the Lord wanted it to be. And one of the first commandments he gave us was to be fruitful and multiply, Salakia. So, that's a part of who we are. And that's why it's in our nature to, want to do these things and to want to multiply. And that's why we have a natural, liking to sex, because that's what the Lord instilled into us. But nonetheless, Esau has, turned it into he's over-sexualized things. He's turned it into, I wouldn't say a negative thing, for lack of better words, turned into a negative thing, and he's caused confusion, between the man and the woman in terms of the order and the purpose, in order to keep us bound, to keep us bound to, a low way of living, because this one woman to one man thing is, that's not how you nation build whatsoever. And they understand this, amongst other things they push on our people. But let's get this first precept, Genesis. So this is Genesis 35, and I'll start at 10. And God said unto him, thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. So our forefather Jacob, which came out of the 12 tribes of Israel, but his name was Jacob, it got changed to Israel, meaning Yasharala, princess of the power, right? Verse 11. Oh, no, let me finish it. I don't think I finished this slide yet. But Israel shall be thy name, and he called his name Israel, right? Verse 11. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. Right? So be fruitful and multiply. This is one of the first commandments the Lord gave, our people. Well, he gave Adam. This commandment to be fruitful and to multiply, to nation build. Right? So continuing on, it reads, a nation and the company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And that's what it's going to be in the kingdom. We're going to, there's going to be an abundance of, nation building. So it's going to be, every brother is going to have multiple women, man, hundreds by the hundreds, but it's going to be done in righteousness. Women are going to be in the right order. They're going to be treated, as they deserve to be treated, as royalty. But there's going to be that order, because the order is Yahweh, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the man, then the woman, then the children. That order is coming back, and everything is going to be done in righteousness, but we're going to be, constantly just, nation building, man. And it's going to be kings. We're going to be nation building, more kings, more and more kings and noble, righteous Israelites, because we're going to be made perfect in the kingdom, and more, beautiful wives for those kings, to continue forwarding that legacy and that nation that, the Lord is going to establish for us in the kingdom of heaven. So it's just going to be a constant, constant line of righteousness and royalty, man, at the highest level. So this is what's coming, man, and it's going to be a beautiful thing because, if we all could on this side, it's in our nature to want to do these things. Jake tries to do it today in Esau society. They want to build a legacy, of a big family, and pass it down. But, things are so corruptible and messed up on this side and wicked that you can't really do it, man. And on top of that, we are in the last days, so it's futile to really build. You do things to sustain yourself, and, if you got stuff going on, don't just drop everything, you still got to maintain. But it's futile to, think of a long-term future, here in Babylon or in this world, really, because, there's a big change coming to this world, and Babylon is getting destroyed. The Lord is on his way to come destroy this place, and rightfully so, right? But in the kingdom, we're going to build a great, great nation, man, that these other nations are going to marvel at. Because not only is our physical appearance going to be, out of this world, top of the line, we're going to have the most elite men, the most beautiful women, we're going to have spiritual power, and all these things are written, man. 1 Corinthians 15 tells us about the spiritual power. Women will have spiritual power as well. Not as much as the men, but, they'll still be the most elite women on the planet Earth. Right? So the things that's coming, man, is very beautiful, man. And this is what you should want, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, you can't be who you really want to be in Babylon, in this place that we're in right now. So let's get this in Isaiah. This Isaiah 60:20. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteous. So in the kingdom, we're all going to be righteous because the law is going to be put in our inward parts. Right? Jeremiah 31st chapter, 33rd verse, if I'm not mistaken, tells us that the Lord is going to make a new covenant with us and put the law in our mind. So we're going to be programmed to be made perfect and righteous, man. And we're not going to be robots, but the Lord is going to make it to where we don't ever get to the situation that we're in now as a nation ever again. We're going to be programmed to be righteous, to be made perfect, and govern the rest of the earth in that, with that standard, which is the Lord's standard, the Creator's standard. So, reading on, verse 21, that people also shall be righteous, or that people shall all be righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time. So, this is going to be an everlasting kingdom, as we know, man. The kingdom of heaven is everlasting, and what does it mean by a little one shall become 1,000? Meaning one baby, one Israelite man that's born is going to become a strong nation, and just by himself, within our nation. One is going to become 1,000 because we're going to be nation building in righteousness, man. Things are going to be the way they're supposed to be. And we're going to have access to, other planets, and there's still parts of the planet Earth that Esau hasn't even discovered. A lot of planet Earth that Esau hasn't discovered. So there's more than enough space, man. Plenty of space for, the population to grow, our nation to grow. Esau telling people that the earth is overpopulated, that's Satan's devices, man. He's programming the people to think that, what he's doing is justified. The earth is not even close to being overpopulated. There's plenty of space on the earth, man. It's just the way that, Esau does things. He's not fit to rule, so the things he's doing when it comes to, people's living situations and how everything operates, everything is just basically that he benefits, the elites benefit. You know, the way of living is not catered to the people. You know, not at all. It's oppressive, man. So, you know, and that's just one of the reasons why this devil got to go. But nonetheless, man, there's plenty of space on Earth, you know, for our nation to continue to grow. And like I said, we'll have access to other planets, you know, and it's just things, you know, the kingdom is going to be so great, so beautiful, so vast that, you know, you can't even really, you can't compare it, man. You really can't compare it. So you gotta step out. Even when you come into this truth, though, you know, you gotta step out of the Western mentality and things we've learned. You know, you gotta think big. It's not for little thinkers, man. It's a spiritual, you know, big thinking, you know, ministry, faith that we have. You gotta have, you know, you gotta throw all this slave mentality things out of your mind. You know, and so yeah, man, it's the things that's coming, man. This nation building is going to be very important because, you know, not only is it how we're programmed and how things should be, but a lot of Israelites are going to be wiped out on this side because of their wickedness and their disobedience. Zechariah 13:8, 2/3 of, you know, shall be cut off therein and die. So we're going to have to nation build, you know, but it's going to be done in righteousness. So let's go to the book of Luke, 22nd chapter, 28th verse. And it reads, ye are they, and this is Yahushua speaking. And it reads, ye are they which have continued with me in my temptation. So the ones who, you know, endured to the end, man. You know, the ones of us who endured to the end, you know, and don't waver in this thing. You know, the elect. And I appointed unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom. So, you know, the 144,000, that governing body is going to be right there with Yahushua and King David, man, in the kingdom of heaven. You know, and what you know, Lord's will be those men. What are they going to be doing? It reads, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So, you know, it's going to be a hierarchy of royalty, man. And our sons, you know, and daughters are going to forward that. That's part of that legacy. You know, because we're, you know, the 144,000 is going to have different parts of the earth, you know, wherever they dwell at, to govern, man. You know, and their sons, their sons are going to forward that. You know, their sons are going to, you know, take a smaller portion of wherever, you know, let's say, for example, let's say, you know, you're part of 144,000, you know, and you got, let's say you got a Europe to rule, you know, for just for example's sake. You know, you may give, you know, your sons, you know, a country in Europe to rule, Italy, you know, another son, you know, another country, you know, this, that, you know, so on and so forth, man. And it just continues to go down the line, and it builds legacy, man. But it's going to be so vast that, you know, we can't really, like I said, you can't connect it and compare with the things of this world and how things are ran in this world, man. Because the way we live, man, is really, we live a peasant slave type of lifestyle, because that's how the devil set it up for everybody. Even people who, you know, who are what you would think are rich, like the millionaires. You know, they obviously have more money, more access to certain things, but nonetheless, man, they're just some rich slaves, man. They ain't really like that, man, because that's how Esau set up this society. But in our kingdom, you know, we're gonna be able to really live. You're not gonna be subject to payments, man. You're not gonna be in debt. You know, you're not gonna have to be late for work, or, you know, things are gonna be ran, you know, to our discretion, man. As an Israelite, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, so that's who's inheriting, you know, as well as the Israelite foreigners that look like other nations, you know, because our seed was scattered, but really their line goes back to that of an Israelite. But that's who's inheriting the kingdom of heaven, man, and even more particularly the elect. The ones who's, chosen from the foundations of the earth, those first fruits. But really the elect is going to do, what's pleasing unto the Lord, which is pushing his word, keeping the laws to the best of their ability, fearing the Lord, seeking wisdom, man. And there's prophets, there's believers, there's wives in this thing, children who believe, there's helpers in the ministry. So there's different roles to play, but nonetheless, whatever lot the Lord had, appointed you, embrace it, to the fullest. And, because you got to have faith and fear in the Lord, man, because that's our ticket out of here. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. But not to get off topic, but yeah, man. So the things that's coming, man, that's the blueprint, and that we hope to get there with, because we are the hopeful elect. But the kingdom is going to be beautiful, man, and nation building is a part of who we are. It's a part of, having a great royal nation, man. And the woman will, Isaiah 4:1 is going to kick in, man, before that even happens. And you're seeing a little bit of it now. And the spirit in the air is, that things are getting back. That you see in the Lord set up that order, man. And eventually he's just going to come back and establish it with force. But you see it happening, man. The spirit is in the air. So things are going to get back to what's, how it's meant to be, man. So with that, I hope this is edifying, man. We got a lot to look forward to, man. We just got to keep going, enduring to the end, because, we are in the last days, and we're going to be out of here soon, man, Lord's will. So giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, Shalom, and Kwam Yasharala.
We're on a mission, man. We're on a mission. And once this mission is accomplished, Lord willing, we make it to the finish line and finish this mission, then guess what? We're going to reap all the benefits, man. Everything that the Most High promised us. We're going to have multiple women. First of all, you're going to have all them women too.
That's right.
Because we got to bring back the nation. Because these 2/3 ain't going to make it, man.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Brothers, can you see why we're going to have more than one woman? That's right. To satisfy our voracious sexual appetite. Do you know the lion in the jungle can make up to 50 times a day?
Yeah.
50 times a day, man. Now, is not the symbol of Israel the lion?
That's right.
So there's going to be a whole lot of sex in the kingdom, all right? A whole lot of yelling and yelping in the kingdom, man. Yelping of pleasure.
That's what it was all about to begin with. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. How do you become fruitful and multiply? Sex. Knocking shit off. Knocking boots.
Knocking the boots.
Going in on them.
Going in.
Balls deep. Yeah. So, hey, that's
going in unto.
And imagine, that's going to be some actual good pussy. Or new pussy.
Or like
it's a pussy that we ain't never even had.
Or like nobody else had.
And nobody else.
That's right. Nobody else touched it. It's like having a brand new car.
Yeah.
You know with that new car smell?
Yeah. It must be like this.
Ohio players. Yeah. Hey, like the Italians say, we're going to give them the sausage. Balls deep.
That's right.
Good clean girl. Go ahead, bro. That's all part of us enjoying the kingdom, man.
That's right.
That's all part of the blessing that we're going to get, brothers.
Hey, the scripture say the Most High said that on his right hand are pleasures evermore.
All right?
So you think about that.
You think about that.
Think about it.
The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
And that's a small one, a strong nation, meaning a lot of children. So, i.e., by default, a lot of sex with different kinds of, with good, clean girls, different kinds of women.
Yeah, that's right.
They say variety is the spice of life, man. All right, we're gonna get all kinds of good. King Solomon, what did Scripture tell you about King Solomon? He loved many women. That's what 1 Kings 11 chapter, around the first verse. Yeah. He loved many women. King Solomon, he was putting it down. Yeah. Man. Why do you think when he came back as Yasharala, he didn't deal with no woman? Because he already conquered that zone, man.
Hey man, all you brothers gotta do is soldier up. I believe it was a DTA brothers. They did a video about the Most High not gonna forget your works. Man, the men that endure in this thing, the Lord is not gonna forget your works. You're gonna reap. You know, I mean, right now it might seem far-fetched, but it's gonna become a reality, man. This place, the scriptures say that this America's gonna be like a bad nightmare that finally went away, man. Mm-hmm. You know, so after the nightmare is over, guess what it's gonna be?
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be heaven.
It's gonna be heaven, man. Heaven on earth.
All clean, wholesome.
Yeah, that's right. So that's right.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.